Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Rival Recap Show, Week 5, where we talk Gentlemen's Club football all day, all the time, guys. And it's been another exciting week of Gentlemen's Club football, and let me tell you, exciting. I mean, there has been trades, there has been waivers, everyone's team's flipping upside down, left and right, and without further ado, we're going to get right into the matchups. And guys, last week, I still had Saquon Barkley in my possession. The day after the episode aired, I traded him to Lynch, in which I received Mark Ingram and Juju for my starting lineup. And to me, that was an improvement, and my team did improve. We put up 127, highest of the season, but it just wasn't enough, guys. Christian just slapped me around all freaking Sunday long. Amari Cooper, 39.6 all over me. I mean, Phillip Rivers with 4. If Phillip Rivers puts up a half-decent performance, my team's really looking nice, but hey, my tight end situation is a fuckery because I have Jordan Akins, who is described as effectively a wide receiver for the Houston Texans, which effectively means that he doesn't get on the field because their other tight end, who I didn't really hear much about, Fells or whatever his name is, 2 touchdowns, over 20 fantasy points. I mean, I can't win with that. I got to figure out the tight end thing. My quarterback needs to play better. But honestly, I'm happy with the direction. 1-4 sucks. But not much I can do, and Christian's dropping 152 all over me. But hey, it's just how it goes sometimes. Good win by Christian. Hopefully my team can bounce back against Sklar next week. And guys, into the next matchup, and this is an exciting one because it is Charlie versus Joe. And Charlie, 202.66, that I believe is the season high for this year. Joe with 159, I mean, great week, but hey, you know what? We're just going to revisit a little something from Safe Space last week.
I'm playing Charlie next week, so I'm probably going to win again. His team's not good. I was looking at it right before this. He has a bunch of Saints and a bunch of Bears, and Saints are starting Bridgewater, who's not good. Bears are starting Chase Daniel, who's not good. So who's going to show up for him for that game? Probably going to win like 85-80. Charlie have a better chance of making Aaron McGuire and Maggie Sullivan and Allie McDonald, Will Lynch, show up for that game than his own players. Okay. Let's get started this week's submissions.
And wow, could he have been more wrong? I mean, how could you predict that Will Fuller is going to put up 53.7, Michael Thomas 41? But other side, Joe turns George Kittle into Aaron Jones, and Aaron Jones ups 49 this week. Was bonkers. I've never seen that many high scores. I mean, in the past, I think we saw like Derrick Henry have like a 48-point game. You know, McCaffrey has his fair share of 45, 47 points over the past few seasons, but never all in one week like this. I mean, there had to be like 6 or 7, if not more than that, guys over 40 points, a few over 50. I mean, I was absolutely blown away by some of these stat lines, guys. But everyone on Charlie's team performed, all right? Travis Kelce is probably one of his best players, if not, I mean, he only had 11, but it didn't matter. Allen Robinson had touchdowns. Michael Thomas had touchdowns. We all know what Fuller was doing. I mean, that game was nuts. But Joe, 160, I mean, you get handed your first loss on quite possibly one of your best scoring weeks. Your safe space is no longer safe as you were the lowest points against, and I had to figure after Charlie drops 202 on you, that's going to inflate that number quite a bit. Next matchup, Ortiz versus Sklar. Both these guys are now sitting at 2-3. Ortiz picking up a win, 129 to 112. 129, nice performance from Ortiz. I mean, he got one of those guys, Deshaun Watson, 41 points. I mean, that's bananas. Absolute freaking bananas. And then Cooper Kupp, 26.7, great. A lot of the rest of their average, but didn't matter because that's all he needed. Sklar, honestly, pretty complete stat line out of your guy, Sklar. I mean, you would have liked a little more Keenan Allen, but 112 isn't going to cut it. And, yeah, you're taking the L there, but hey, I mean, your running backs are solid. Le'Veon and Devontae, 16 and 18. I mean, you want more out of Lev, but Ortiz just took it to you. 129, 112. Kevin Lamb versus Eric Olsen, 138 to 128. Kevin Lamb has been making moves left and right, people. I believe he stole DJ Chark off of Lynch. I mean, he didn't even need to start him this week, but he could have, and he had 30 points, and he would have beaten Eric even worse. But, I mean, I get where Lynch's head was at. He wanted Gallman. He wanted the insurance. However many more weeks Saquon's going to be out. And then Gallman goes down with a concussion and just really fucks it up. And Lynch effectively has a waiver wire Robbie Anderson for DJ Chark, who's been absolutely killing it so far. Anyway, Lynch probably has the depth, but he probably would like that guy back. Other side, Eric, 128, pretty solid week. I mean, Eric, you've been putting up solid points every week, but people have been showing up against you. Rast and Lamb now have taken you down. Eckler's still 22.3, and I think Ingram only had 7.8. Godwin with another monster week. Kamara doing all right. Lamar with an off week. That hurt you a little bit, but moving on, Eric 3-2. Lamb 2-3 on the rise. Baltimore Bullets. Ian versus Rast. Rast returning to his week 1 form. He put a few good weeks together. Mike Evans didn't do anything. Deebo Samuel was nothing. James Conner and Shady, nothing really going either. Brady was his only highlight, but 66.4 is tough. Other side, Ian, 47.7. Christian McCaffrey, guys. I mean, I just can't emphasize enough how blown away I am by all this. Matt Brady, huge night last night on Monday Night Football. Solidifies Jones' 100-point win. 100-point win. Wow. Wait, I thought I played Sklar next week. I play Rast? This thing's telling me I play Rast. Okay. We will see. Anyway, next matchup, 121-113. It was Weston over Tony. I mean, Weston's 3 wins are probably for a combined 9 points. I'd really like to see this guy's ratio, but his team is doing what he needs to do. I mean, Tony, you shocked me, actually, Tony. You shocked me when you dropped Baker Mayfield and you kept guys on your bench that I haven't even really heard of. But it looks like you were smart because Baker looked horrible. Joe picked him up picked up a waiver on him. I was like, holy shit, Joe, as Baker, God forbid something happens to Wentz, he still has a great quarterback, but I don't know. I do not know after seeing that game last night, guys. But Greg Olsen with 0 is tough, Tony. If you get a tight end performance, you're probably picking up a win. Weston, first week with Kittle, 20.8 points. He's got to be happy, although Aaron Jones with 49. Whew. But hey, he gets to fill another starting spot and keep Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, who are pretty okay on the field. But the last matchup, guys, this was exciting, and for all the wrong reasons. 76.52 to 76.32. Lynch needed Nick Chubb to get 0.2 more points, and he couldn't do it with only 10.9 on the 49ers, as the whole Browns team just looked like shit. But hey, Wayne Gallman 1.4 living with concussion, revisiting that. Manny Sanders 1.9. Gosh, if you held on to Chark, you could have been starting him there. Watkins is injured now. Lynch's receivers, Cooks had a concussion. Lynch's receivers are a little bit in shambles. But hey, he's probably going to have Saquon Barkley coming back in 2 weeks. And Russell Wilson, Saquon, and Chubb might be all he needs. But the Lynch's team was looking pretty elite. Now his receivers a little banged up. Really changes a little bit. Sedano getting a nice week out of Philip Lindsay, and that's really about it. Starting Philip Dorsett 0.0. And Rodgers not with a great week either. But Sedano gets his first win on one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. But anyway, guys, that's the matchups. We had some good ones this week. I had this freaking paper of all the lineups of you guys offering me trades, what my lineup would look like. The Browns on Monday night looking like shit. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to get through this. It's a little later here in Baltimore. It's getting a little darker here. So without any more hesitation, we send it to Joe.
Thanks, boss. I wanted to start off this week with a little response to the shit talk in Marsh's video last week. He insinuated that some people in this league are questioning the integrity of safe space. Listen, I will air anything that is brought into me. Every single week, I text each and every one of you. The only thing I won't air if I don't think it's funny. Just because there haven't been things about me, that doesn't mean that I'm, hiding stuff. Charlie took a dump on me this weekend. I go, Charlie, Chuck, send me a response. He talks it up. He goes, yeah, I'll send you a response. Finally, of the week, I'm going to submit to Safe Space. He doesn't do it. So, what do you want me to do? I watch my videos every week. I'm like, holy fuck, I mumble so fucking much. The content's here. If you want to make fun of me, go ahead. I get it. Probably are the best team in the league. You don't want to talk shit, I get it, but regardless, wanted to get that off my mind. Welcome to Safe Space. Let's get to this week's submissions. Marche, first one's about you. Somebody buy Marsh a pair of socks for Christmas because nobody gets colder feet during a trade than Brian Marsh. I wrote that. I sent him 1,000 Saquon offers. You know, John, I do owe you an apology because I regret not just trading for Saquon immediately. You live and you learn. All right, Rasty, this one's about you. Replacing Pavic with Rast is a lot like replacing a Honda CR-V with a Toyota CR-V. I don't know what that means. Second one about Rast. Good to see Rast get dicked by Jones. His confidence was getting too high for a team that bad. That it was. Trade God. Eric. Oh, Eric, I read this. Rivalry week. Wearing the attire. I'm sick of Mr. Potato Head, big dumb idiot Eric Olson giving his opinions on trades. He does this all the fucking time like he's fucking God. I cannot wait to fucking beat you this week. I've said that before. Kevin Lamb, favorite submission this week, right here. Kevin Lamb will be turned into Kevin Wool after this week. Love the family-friendly humor here. Lynchy, this is about you. All right, so we're going to go through Lynch's events last week. Tuesday, trades all of his receiver debt, gets Saquon Barkley, as I mentioned before. Thursday Night Football, Brandon Cooks, dud. And then he gets decapitated in the process. I didn't watch a full game. I didn't know it got lit up. Sunday morning, what I mentioned before, that is going to be the worst trade of the fucking year, Lynch. DJ Chark has been a top 5 receiver all year, and you gave him for fucking rubbish. Unbelievably bad trade. Kevin, that trade was so bad that it put Kevin, his terrible team, it made his terrible team relevant again. So he trades that awful trade, which this writer compares the trade of DJ Chark to a 30-second rub and tug from Allie McDonald. All right, so then the game starts Sunday afternoon. Emmanuel Sanders, your second receiver, dud. So you have Juju and DJ Chark out, Cook, Emmanuel Sanders, dud. Sunday night, Chiefs offense, Sammy Watkins. I'm not even sure he was out there. I checked the box score and I was astonished how terrible he did. So John Lynch goes into Monday night, which is foreshadowing. I buried the lead, but he goes in and loses to John Sedano after Nick Chubb lays an egg. But I buried the storyline. Let's get to the storyline of the ages, the kiss of death. Okay, I don't want to take Marsh's thunder. I'm sure he nailed this. So this last safe space submission takes a look at the history of John Sedano's kisses of death. Freshman year, 2013. Take it back to Loyola. John gives Jesse Foy the kiss of death the first week of college. How does she respond? By dating a 32-year-old cop that lives in Homeland. Another instance of John Sedano's kiss of death. John gives Julia Ali. You might have to look that one up on Facebook if it exists, folks. Julia Ali, the kiss of death in the Butler common room while getting a handy in the middle of a Saturday night. What happens to Julia Ali? How does she respond to the kiss of death? She vanishes quicker than Nick Chubb into oblivion, and she's never, I never saw her sophomore year and beyond. Gone. Another John Sedano kiss of death instance. This is a real thing. John gives Sam Freitas the kiss of death second semester freshman year while telling her to quote, unquote, come on my dick. And then I don't want to get into it. I don't want to be too mean on safe space. But if you've studied Sam Freitas' progression, not great. Not great response to the kiss of death. Instance number 4 of 5 of just obviously the kiss of death being some spell by which John himself. John gives Carly Yost the kiss of death at Craig. She then filed a grievance to Loyola Police because she thought Johnny raped her. They raped her. That was a scary moment. And then freshman year, last John Sedano kiss of death moment. John gives the Hall of Famer, the GOAT, Danica Manoa, the kiss of death. And how she respond? By showing up back to his door the very next day with a North Face jacket and nothing else. You know why? Because the lesson of this episode of Safe Space is that Danica Manoa is more invincible of the kiss of death than anyone on Matt Lynch's fantasy team. See you next week, folks.